Hey Gus, how are you doing?
Good, Zach.
So you've been a head coach before. What are the logistical challenges on game day that most of us never think about or the casual fan never realizes? And then did everything go right on Sunday in that regard with Jeff? And how did it play out between you running the defense and him running the team?
Right. I thought it worked out really well. Before the game, I kept them abreast of some of the things we were looking for and how we were going to go about things and, just to get his input. And so we had some conversations and then talked, I know he did a lot with Bubba too, just about in game, some of the game management. Hey, Gus, if you need a timeout, let's do it this way. So we had good conversations and really, it was pretty smooth throughout the game. Nothing came up that was, earth shattering where, it was a miscommunication or anything. So I thought it was pretty smooth. Even the last drive, Jeff and I communicated on that drive. And I thought it went really smooth.
Joel Erickson.
Hey, Gus. Quiddy going down, and then you guys have lost Taekwon. Is it getting pretty thin there at the edge? And what can you do to kind of get some more pressure off that edge if Quiddy can't go?
Right. Well, you saw Dio. I think he ended up getting like 45 or 46 reps. So we're starting to use him more, as that Taekwon guy, kind of fulfill that role. And with Quiddy down too. So, we've got some guys that we're going to, take a look at this week and, guys that can set the edge. You've seen Buck on the edge at times. So we've got some guys we just got to, as we go through this game plan session that we're in right now, just how we're going to utilize everybody, especially in this specific offense that we're playing this week.
Mike Chappell.
Hey, doing, Gus? When you've got a player like Gilly in a game where you're facing him, you didn't have Gilly on him start to finish. You sort of picked your spots. How do you pick your spots? Just game situations?
Yeah, game situations. And, I think at critical times, without giving too much away, we kind of look at the game. Each game is different, though. He may travel. He may just stay on one side of the field. It might be more of a personnel matchup. Ron Miles, I give him credit. He keeps track of all that. We kind of talk in our game planning sessions. But sometimes in critical times, then we'll flip them based off of, what we're looking for or based on the call.
There have been several critical times this year, Denver, Washington, Vegas. As a coordinator, when you've got a Gilly, do you just say, go win the game for us? I mean, there's more parts.
Yeah, I think
he doesn't make the play, Adams wins.
Right. I may not go up to him and tell him that, but that's what I'm thinking, when we make some calls. So I think he just gives you great confidence. I know, we don't want to do that with any of our guys, is just sit in one coverage where he's playing the same technique over and over again. So I think what the guys appreciate is to have some change-ups, to some of the different things that we're doing. So we try to have some curveballs on the perimeter, but the most part, he lines up and he kind of erase that that individual as a threat. So he loves the challenge now. He loves that part of it. Same with Kenny and Isaiah and Faison. They all love that part of it. But Gilly, his experience in critical times, kind of like that last play he was in. We thought, that was a play of the game, but the play before it was even a bigger play too, with Bobby making the play. They were trying to isolate him. The play before, we had our safety kind of eye up, Devontae. So, it left Bobby one-on-one and he stood up and made a play. So it's kind of cool to see that in critical times, Gilly has, but we're seeing other guys step up as well.
JJ?
Gus, what about the play before Bobby at the pass breakup where he had the tackle on Jacobs? What did you see on that play, just in terms of how Bobby disengaged and was able to read that play?
Yeah, he's got really good instincts, and we put a lot on Bobby's plate as a will linebacker in our system. So you see him match up on the backs. He's got some different run fits. I think the biggest thing that I appreciate about Bobby, not only his intelligence, but and giving us the ability to kind of position him over some of the needs that we have, is just his length. I think his length is really showing up in our system. You like linebackers that can run and have length. And like that second last play, his length showed up there too. So, and it showed up against the run. He does a good job getting off blocks and disengaging and making plays. So we got a lot of trust in Bobby the way he's playing right now.
Gus, what also went into the blitz call on fourth down, and how much did Bobby affect the quarterback on that play?
Well, we were just looking at that time. We don't do it much, in those situations. So that was another one. We thought maybe a curveball, and we just wanted to speed it up. I think there was times before the Washington game, at the end where we just felt like the quarterback was back there and had a little bit of time. And we just felt like in this situation, we wanted to speed up the whole process. Although Derek Carr made a great throw, it was still right on the money. He threw it perfect, right where it had to be. Gilly just got his hands in there and made a play.
James Boyd.
Gus, Zaire is one of the guys in the locker room. Win, lose, or draw, he's always going to talk to the media or lead his guys. How have you seen the leadership show up just in everyday, day-to-day interactions? Like what I know everyone talks about leadership. But how does that look like from your perspective when he's helping anchor this defense?
Well, I think it's great because with Zaire, he has no problem challenging guys. And I think that's a unique part. Some guys are really good leaders and they're supportive leaders. And they may not challenge guys just because of, maybe they don't have that relationship. Maybe they don't know how the individual will take it. Where I see Zaire, he'll challenge guys. He'll challenge guys out in the practice field. He challenges guys on the field during the game. And it's a good thing. I think the whole team respects him so much that they know where it's coming from. So his leadership, not only is he an internally driven person, but I think he elevates the play of everybody around him as well. And I think when you have that, that's what makes him unique, is the challenging that he'll always, that standard, he has a pretty good idea what it should look like. And he has no issue holding guys accountable to that standard.
Go a few more here. Nate Atkins.
Hey, Gus. Yannick Ngakoue is obviously one of the most accomplished, consistent pass rushers in this game, but I feel like we haven't quite seen the ceiling of him yet, the highest impact pass rushes and the consistent pressures. So him as well as anybody. What do you think kind of needs to happen to get him kind of into the flow that he's been in the past?
Right. Well, I think, he's made some improvement. Where I've seen his improvement is in the run game. I think he wants to be a complete player. He is getting chipped a lot, so we're going to have to find some solutions for that and things that he's good with as well. But he's playing hard. And like I told him, I know he's a lot of the sacks come from second effort in this league. And, that's what we're keep talking to him about and saying, hey, don't get frustrated with it. They'll come as long as you continue to rush and give good second effort. Those things will come. So, he also understands it. He's a true pro. He came to me for the game and, during that last series and was talking about it. Hey, this is what the fourth quarter rush is all about. So he's had a great attitude, and we're just making sure he doesn't get too frustrated, as all rushers, right? They want a lot of sacks. They want to affect the quarterback, and he's just got to continue to work that way and the way he is in practice, and trust that those results will come.
George Bremer.
Isaiah Rodgers seemed like he had a couple of successful reps one-on-one with Davante Adams. What have you seen from him this year in terms of just growing in his consistency and in his overall coverage?
Well, I think his skill set, he's very, very quick, but it's, his change of direction at the top of the route, to come out of the break. Sometimes when you have a longer corner, you have a tendency to want to press them because generally taller, longer guys have a little bit of stiffness, and that stiffness can get taken away when you press. Isaiah has got some length to him, but he's got tremendous short area quickness at the top of the route. I think that's what makes him unique. His explosiveness, some of the things that maybe were a concern, like, when you're man to man and you're on a dig route all by yourself, I think he has that acceleration. He has a pretty good sense. and he made some plays in the game with that. So I think the short area quickness, obviously he's very fast, but that transition to come out of a break and still, playing the route like the one that I think you're talking about with Devontae on the sideline. At the top of the route, his transition was very good. I think that's what's unique about him.
Kevin Bowen.
Hey, Gus, I know it's early in the week, but just general Philadelphia thoughts, anything offensively you can kind of compare them to, like style-wise? It seems like they're pretty unique based off what you've seen this year.
Right. They do a great job running the ball, obviously. And they do a great job of getting it into their playmaker hands. You see a lot of RPOs, a lot of bubble, jailbreak screens. And so you see a high completion percentage from the quarterback. But I think what separates them is you go into a game saying, how do we limit these explosive plays? Because they take shots. They've got really, really good skill set on the perimeter, and they give their guys a chance. You get so committed to stop the run that when they take their shots, it's one-on-one. And with the one-on-one, they've been making a lot of plays. And, you look at last night, Washington had the ball for 40 minutes. So 20 minutes, Philly had the ball. They turned the ball over, I believe, 3 times and still scored over 20 points. So they're that explosive of an offense. If they're on the field a lot, they're going to score a lot of points. So it's, how do you limit that? And how do you get those points down? And a lot of it is through their explosive plays. But they do a great job with I think they, utilize their skill set. They get it in their playmakers' hands. Everybody's involved, and they're just playing at a high level.
So last one here, Joel Erickson.
Hey, Gus, you guys are getting Grover some more pass rush snaps. Is that just like in what you've seen from him just overall?
He's been what's the word? I think he's been really, really active for us, right, in the run game. I think the penetrating style, you're seeing more from him in that style. And he always wants to get more pass rush reps. But, the ability to drive a guy back and condense the pocket like he did. So, we're taking a look at everybody right now. The ability to affect the quarterback is so big, and, that rush and cover part. So I'm sure if not today, tomorrow, he's going to come talk to me, about getting more opportunities. So, but he does such a great job for us, and he'll get some opportunities this week as well.
How hard has it been to get? Oh, wait, I got one more. Sorry. How hard has it been to keep Buck or try to get Buck clean? It feels like every time I watch him through the binoculars, he's getting double teamed.
It is. And, they're obviously at times, even in the pass rush, they're turning the protection to him. So I think the ability to move him around, and do some different things front wise, when we have that capability to find where we can get him one-on-one. So he's another one. We're very grateful for both those two guys. I think sometimes it alters the run game of some of the teams that we're facing too, because at times we see a little bit more perimeter runs just because of how disruptive those two have been inside.